Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I recently purchased a reproduction of an A11 watch. This is a Waltham Field watch and I bought it from Mr. D, who is Watches of Remembrance on eBay. This watch is absolutely amazing. And in future videos, I want to go into more details about Mr. D and what he does and the amazing conversations that we've had over email. But tonight, let's look at this watch. So here is the box that the watch shipped in. Just a nice little cardboard box here. The company was originally called Watches of War, and right when I was doing my very first video about this purchase, the name had changed. So now it is Watches of Remembrance. Be sure to check out his eBay store. The link is in the description. I made sure to buy a couple of his watches before sharing his URL with you all. Yeah, that's how I roll. No, but seriously, check out his shop. He makes some amazing watches like this one. There it is. So cool. Mr. D was even kind enough to send me a dress strap. This particular strap is 18 millimeters. However, the watch actually has 17 millimeter lugs, but it is all good. I'm looking forward to putting that strap on something like my silver dialed Timex Marlin or something similar, because that is pretty great looking. But there are slight variances on the lug widths here. So this isn't a 16 millimeter, it's a 17 millimeter. You can see a little bit of gap there. But again, it is all good. I'll be buying straps for this anyway, so perfect. Speaking of straps, this strap is amazing. You can see I have a Veblenist buckle on here because it's a little bit too large for my tiny wrist. So I have to wear it at the smallest hole, and when it's not overly warm, it's pretty loose on me. So until my other straps arrive, I will be wearing it with this buckle on here, which makes it a little bit more snug. These keepers are great and pretty much stay in place. I love the look of this strap. These kinds of military straps are so great and perfect for this watch. The lugs are nice and basic, just utilitarian lugs there. They are not drilled. The case is polished. Looking at the case back, it is a screw-in case back. This has 30 meters of water resistance, so you won't go swimming with it, but it has a little bit. Looking at the crown, it's sized really well. Just a nice straightforward crown here. Let's see how this operates. So this is an A11 style watch. So this seconds hand will hack. And we can set the time. It is super easy to turn this crown. A little bit creepy. There we go. I like to have a little bit of resistance when I'm setting the time, but this, believe it or not, is a quartz piece. So it's not like I'm going to be touching that a whole lot. So perfectly fine with me. The cool thing is look at that seconds hand. Even though it's a quartz, the seconds hand sweeps. 4 ticks per second. Looking at the crystal, I love this crystal. It's boxed and slightly domed. It looks so great. And looking at the dial, so the little pips are kind of yellowed and everything else is white. I like the minutes track on the outside there of the markers. This is a reproduction, so we have Waltham on the dial. These are made primarily for reenactments and for actors in movies and whatnot, as well as collectors or people who have loved ones who served in the war, and they have photographs of watches that their loved ones wore. Mr. D will create those watches for them so they have a connection to a lost loved one. That's pretty cool. The hands are all white. I love that seconds hand. That dial is really great. The thickness on the case is great. It's not overly thick or anything. It's very light, being a small watch and having a quartz movement inside. But you definitely forget that you're wearing it when it's on the wrist. You see that I have a little dot on the crystal there. I'm going to have to do a couple more rounds of poly watch on that, but that'll be fine. As for the specifications on this watch, this is a little guy, so the case diameter is only 33 millimeters, just like other A11 watches. It has a 17 millimeter lug width. The lug to lug is 39 millimeters. The case height is just under 10 millimeters. It has an acrylic crystal and a quartz movement inside of it that hacks and sweeps. That is so cool. It has 30 meters of water resistance. The case is steel and all parts are brand new and sourced by Mr. D. And they're super affordable. So let me take off my vintage Pagoda watch and we'll see what this looks like when you're wearing it. Here is the Waltham A11 on my 7-inch wrist. Just look at how awesome that looks. This watch is so great that I got online and ordered a second one from him. That one has a bead blasted case on it. That way it'll be even more tooly. I'll probably end up dressing this one up, putting it on a nice leather strap or something, but that other one is going to be full on field. Even though it's really small, it looks great. I feel like that size is not bad at all. It definitely wears less small than my Elgin watch that I have. And yeah, this size is just part of the A11 aesthetic. That crystal. And that case is pretty cool. As one of you pointed out, it kind of looks like a Timex Marlin case. In a way, those are a little bit more flying saucery, but from the top, totally does. Definitely check out Mr. D's work. He makes some great watches. And this is one of them. So there you have it, the awesome little A11 style reproduction of a Waltham field watch. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I love the A11 size, even though they're on the small side, even for me. But this watch just looks so great. I ordered a bunch of straps for it and can't wait for them to arrive. I'll have to do future videos showing those off maybe. Thanks for watching.